Welcome. Today we're diving deep into the source material, analyzing Donald J. Trump's life and career. Our focus, a really consistent pattern, an operational philosophy, you could say, linking his business life and his politics. We're talking aggressive moves, big risks, and, well, using controversy strategically.
Yeah, and what's striking is how the sources, they kind of converge on this core idea that his whole career seems defined by seeing rules, norms, not as fixed boundaries, but more like obstacles, things to get around, negotiate, or just plain discredit.
That's quite a frame. Then the sources suggest it's not something new. It's inherited, right? Goes back even to his grandfather, Friedrich Trump.
Exactly. During the Klondike Gold Rush, he wasn't out there digging. The sources say he was mining the miners, setting up businesses, restaurants, other services, reportedly even less savory ones.
So profiting from the rush without taking the prospector's risk.
Precisely. And he showed a knack for legal angles early on. In Monte Cristo, this mining town, he apparently used a type of mineral rights claim, a gold placer claim, to build a boarding house without actually, buying the land outright first. Saved a lot of money.
Already operating around the system.
That's the template. Then his son, Fred Trump, Donald's father, really scaled it up, built a huge housing business, but faced investigations, allegations of profiteering on government-backed projects.
Right, the FHA loans, overstating costs.
And then, crucially, the 1973 Department of Justice lawsuit, that was against the whole Trump organization, Donald was president by then, for racial discrimination in rentals. Systemic stuff.
And how they handled that lawsuit is telling, isn't it?
Very. They settled it by signing a consent decree, legally binding, but, and this is key, without admitting any wrongdoing.
No admission. And then came the influence of Roy Cohn.
Oh, yeah. Cohn's mentorship was critical. His philosophy was basically never settle, never surrender.
And hit back 10 times harder.
Exactly. That aggressive, counterpunching style became foundational, turning legal challenges into offensive tactics.
Okay, so how does this translate into his business strategies later on?
Well, look at the corporate bankruptcies. 6 times between 91 and 2014. The Trump Taj Mahal is a famous one. Filed for Chapter 11 just a year after opening. Huge debts.
And it's important to stress, this is corporate bankruptcy Chapter 11. Reorganization, not personal ruin.
Absolutely. The sources emphasize this. It allowed the companies to unload massive debt. Banks, investors, they took the hit. But the structures were set up to shield his personal fortune.
So it's a kind of risk transfer.
That's the model, yeah. The company takes the risk, the individual benefits, potentially walking away from the losses. And the sources suggest this, maybe difficulties getting traditional financing later, led to a pivot.
Towards branding.
The Apprentice in 2004 was huge for this. It completely recast his image, made him the businessman icon, and earned him, over $400 million from salary and licensing deals. The brand itself became the asset. And this focus on asset value, maybe pushing the limits, seems to connect to the recent New York civil fraud case in 2024. The judge found a pattern of inflating asset values. Mar-a-Lago was a key example to get better loan terms, resulting in that massive penalty over $354 million.
So you see the same underlying approach across decades.
That's what the sources suggest, yeah.
How did this translate to the political arena then? If business was about risk transfer, politics became about
maybe controversy transfer, using provocative, sometimes factually questionable statements to dominate the media cycle. His role pushing the birther conspiracy is often cited as an early example of this, using the brand, grabbing attention.
And then in office, the challenges escalated, right?
Yeah.
Targeting institutions themselves.
Definitely. Look at the 2 impeachments. The first one, 2019, abuse of power. The allegation was using government-leveraged military aid to pressure Ukraine to investigate a political rival. It echoes using business leverage for personal gain.
And the second?
Second impeachment, 2021. Incitement of insurrection. Stemming from his actions around the 2020 election loss leading up to January 6th. That's taking the never surrender idea to the democratic process itself.
A fundamental challenge. And of course, we have to mention the post-presidency legal issues. The New York conviction in May 2024, the 34 felony counts for falsifying business records. The hush money payments case.
So pulling it all together, the sources really paint a picture of consistency. This practice of leveraging controversy, pushing boundaries, being aggressive, first in real estate, then branding, then applied directly to core American institutions, justice, democracy.
So the final thought for you listening is drawn from the source material's conclusion. This sustained approach, the sources argue, has significantly fueled skepticism about those very institutions. The question becomes, how does a democracy rebuild trust when powerful figures can successfully brand the justice system, or elections, as fundamentally rigged as witch hunts, undermining faith in the mechanisms meant to ensure accountability? Something to consider.